What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the special Saturday edition of the World Cup preview. I, of course, am joined by 305 writer slash Miami J slash Joel. So basically, the reason we're doing this today is because Joel has been on my ass for like the last for like the last 4 weeks, man, about doing this.
I was actually going to introduce myself with an apology to you because I've been on your ass for like 6 months.
No, that's okay, man. I've always I watched the. I mean, and I'm not like a hardcore soccer guy, but I know more than most. I do remember, dude. I do remember back in 14 when Landon Donovan scored that. Dude, he scored that unbelievable goal to give the USA the win, and then of course we missed the World Cup back in 18, and that was
Let me say this.
everybody.
First off, I apologize if I come off too excited or if I get too inside baseball. The Landon Donovan goal was 2010.
Oh, that was 2010. Holy shit! So what was 14?
He famously got left out of the 2014 World Cup roster by Jurgen Klinsmann.
Oh, that's right, which happens to be the world, and it's interesting. And in 14, I think that's one of our best runs because I think we ended up losing to Belgium. Yeah, Belgium. Yeah, Vincent Company and company. Tim Howard stood on his head, man.
We should have won that game if it wasn't for Chris Wondolowski. Holy crap! How did he miss that goal,
dude? It was on the right hand, dude. It was on the right hand side. He had it. He had a shot and he just whipped it. It was unbelievable. We're like,
it was nuts, bro. That's one of those games that I remember. I think back on it, and I think I suffered through that game.
Yeah, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings with my friend Noah, and yeah. So the World Cup, and we're gonna put up the groups and everything. I think the last line. I think Brazil, I believe, is the odds-on favorite. Am I wrong about that?
On paper, yeah, Brazil is the odds-on favorite. I don't think they're going to be the ones to win it.
Okay.
We'll get into all that.
Okay,
but Brazil, France, and Argentina are the top three favorites this go.
Gotcha. Argentina it's almost like this is going to be Lionel Messi's last World Cup. He's 35 years old. He's done it, dude. He's won the Ballon d'Or, 100 times. He won Copa America. Here, in my opinion, Lionel Messi, he's one of the most decorated footballers of all time. When he won Copa America, that's really when the conversation around him started to change. So now guys are like, okay, if he really wants to be in that conversation with Pele, and of course the most famous Argentinian footballer Maradona, and a lot of people, the general consensus is that if Argentina wins the World Cup with Lionel Messi at the helm, he will supplant Diego Maradona as the greatest Argentine football player of all time.
And just to give it a little context, I know soccer in America is a little obscure. It's actually up to third in most popular sports.
No shit.
Yeah. But in the world, soccer is religion. In Argentina, absolutely. Brazil, Diego Maradona is a god in Argentina.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Diego Maradona has the hand of God. That was absolutely, hey, and it's funny, to this day, it doesn't matter. To this day, he's like, hey, man, they didn't call it. If they didn't call it, it was a goal.
He never copped to it. You know, actually, how that goal got its name?
No, how did it work?
In the press conference after, the reporter got up, was like, come on, be honest. You used your hand, didn't you? He goes, no, it was a little with my head and a little bit with the hand of God.
Yes.
That's how
he will never I don't even care. Dude, they could get him. They could have had footage of him actually spiking the ball with his hand into into the back of that. Nope, he's not copping to it. Yeah, I mean they do. I mean, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think that now let me ask you this. So we've watched some. There have been some. I didn't start watching the World Cup until 1998. That was with the first Ronaldo. A lot of casual soccer fans don't remember the first. I remember the big three of Brazil was Ronaldo, and Junior Baiano, if I'm not mistaken.
Ronaldinho.
That's No. It was the other. It was the first Ronaldo with he had like
In '98. You're right.
yes,
Ronaldinho wasn't until 2002. You're right.
and I don't know what his first name is, but everyone knew him mononymously as Ronaldo, and I was like, oh my god, who's this guy Ronaldo? And he's gonna win. And don't quote me on this. I think they ended up losing to France in the final. Okay, and so people are like, well, so much for Ronaldo. Then Cristiano Ronaldo, the Cristiano Ronaldo. So the greatest footballers of our generation are Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Lionel Messi. Yep, and Lionel Messi. Who do you think? Is who's the best? Because this is the conversation. Is it Messi or is it Ronaldo?
So let me give you my top 5 of all time.
Okay.
Actually, I wouldn't put David Beckham in the conversation. David Beckham is just the best marketed footballer of all time,
and he's more of a facilitator rather than a scorer. I don't think anyone is going to mistake him as a striker.
So the top 5 for me, obviously, we think about winning World Cups and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I put Johan Cruyff at number 5.
Okay.
Wow. He played for Holland back in the 70s, early 80s. Then I have Messi and Ronaldo.
Okay.
At 4 and 5, interchangeable. Yep. To me, Ronaldo's better. I just like him better because I like the team he plays for.
Okay.
But it's a debate conversation. Number 2 is probably Maradona.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He did win that World Cup. Now, if Messi wins that World Cup or Ronaldo, they'll supplant him. And number one is Pele by far. He won 3 World Cups with Brazil.
Yeah.
To me, it's undisputed. Argentinians will tell you Maradona, but everybody else will acknowledge Pele.
Of course. That is an interesting debate. Ronaldo versus Messi. I think obviously, people have patriotic pride. They're certainly gonna rep for their people. But I think you're right. I think that Beckham is the most overrated player ever. Okay, all right, okay. So there's my football ignorance. Thailand says Pelé was overrated. What do you say to that?
Come on, only player ever to win 3 World Cups. That's like saying Tom Brady's overrated.
Yeah.
Brady wasn't the flashiest, but he is the best by far.
Yes.
And
that actually was what you used to say back in the day. It was that Brady was overrated.
Well, and I didn't jump on the Brady bandwagon until he won it with Tampa Bay.
Dude,
I thought it was a creature of the system.
Okay, yes. Thierry Henry. I remember one of the most infamous moments in World Cup history was when Zinedine Zidane, and I forgot the guy's name, but he headbutted this dude. He said something like the guy accused Zidane of saying that his sister was like a T word.
Something about his sister.
Yeah, and he headbutted him, and he was out of the game. Then, of course, I remember, I think it was the French team who won it back in 2006. That
was the Italians. That was during that game. The Italians.
Luca Toni was the star of that team. It was Luca Toni, Alessandro Del Piero was on that squad. So yeah, they were loaded. They were absolutely loaded. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
And Italy, famously, they haven't done anything since that game. Italy, they went to 2010. They didn't do much. And we'll go over it in a bit, but the champions always crash out of the World Cup.
Really? Really?
2014, they didn't do anything, and they haven't been to the last 2. They didn't qualify this go round or to Russia.
Man, that's crazy. We got a question. Is Nigeria in? No, Nigeria is not in, but Ghana is in.
Yes.
The U.S. Ghana's not in the USA's. They're not in the USA's.
Thankfully.
Yeah, the Blacks, dude, they are a
fucking. Tell them the last 3 World Cups.
They're a fucking problem, dude. The Black Stars of Ghana, Michael Essien, all those guys. Those guys were a fucking pain in the ass, man.
That's Noah Gian, that guy. He was an American killer.
Greasy Wop provoked Zidane. Yeah, that was absolutely. I loved it. I loved it, man. I loved it.
Look, okay, I loved it from let's get into a Rumble perspective. But it was really sad to see Zidane, one of the greatest players ever. He's top 10 in my book for sure. Yeah. Leave world football like that. That shot of him walking into the tunnel with the World Cup next to him,
with his head down.
I just want to mention this real quick.
Okay.
You see passion come up for me. The World Cup is, for me, the biggest event in the world. It's a family thing from going way back.
Right?
Yeah. I told you a story. Actually, you know how little kids watch the same movie over and over and over again? I used to watch soccer, though. I used to watch soccer games from the World Cup over and over and over.
Wow.
It was all. It's a family affair, and like I told you on text message earlier, so the audience know, you're talking to a guy who voluntarily spent an extra 2 weeks in Iraq while I was deployed.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yes, you spent
so that I could come back after our deployment and take the whole month off to watch the World Cup in 2006.
Dude, that is fucking hardcore. This is a question I cannot answer. He says, Donovan,
Mbappe or Holland? I take Holland.
Okay.
Holland plays for Norway. He sadly won't be at the World Cup. I think right now he's the best player on the field right now.
You think so?
Mbappe's very, very good. Top 3, probably. But his ego's kind of gotten to him. And we'll talk more about Mbappe when we get to the predictions and we talk about each team a little bit.
Okay, very good. Obviously the World Cup is in Qatar, and I'd be remiss if we didn't touch at least on the fact that the World Cup probably should not have been in Qatar in the first place. Obviously, Qatar being selected, it was shrouded in controversy, Sepp Blatter and that whole scandal with FIFA and everything like that. What can you tell people about how the whole Sepp Blatter situation and why the World Cup is in Qatar because of Blatter?
Right. So Qatar very famously bribed its way into the World Cup. It has since come out that Russia did the same thing. Germany did the same thing. Essentially, that's how the game was played.
Right.
Now, the reason all of this came to light, and let's be very frank about this, is because the country that got screwed when Qatar got the World Cup was the U.S.
Yes. Right.
So we stuck the FBI on them, and everything came out.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, we do have the next World Cup. 2026 is going to be here in the States. I am so looking forward to that.
That's going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's none of the FIFA executive committee members left. A lot of them went to jail. Sepp Blatter somehow managed to avoid prosecution.
Look, dude, his fingerprints were all over everything. How is he not sitting in prison right now?
I think he was brilliant he brilliantly used the system to learn how to claim ignorance, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Plausible deniability.
He managed to stay plausibly deniable with absolutely every single thing.
Wow.
And even though they did show that $2 million payment from him to Michel Platini in France, apparently there was nothing technically criminal with it. So
right.
It is what it is.
But just like you said, that's how the game is played. And a lot of people, oh my God, I can't believe OJ got away with murder and this and that and the other. Hey, man, OJ Simpson, and I will never forget. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Training Day. Ever seen that?
Yes, of course.
So, Alonzo, Denzel Washington's character, Alonzo, told this story about a guy who was on trial for some heinous crime, and the plea was supposed to be like a temporary insanity. So before he goes in front of the judge, he packs his ass full of peanut butter, extra chunky Jif, gets in front of the judge, puts his hand down his pants, gets the peanut butter out, licks his fingers clean, and the judge decided that he was not mentally able to stand trial. And the guy looked at Washington's character like, well, that's bullshit. He's like, no, the man deserves his freedom. He figured out how to buck and game the system. So for anybody who has a problem with what Sepp Blatter did, I understand, but this is the world we live in, man. What did he say? Money talks and bullshit walks.
Yeah, anytime you have an organization as big as FIFA, more member countries than the United Nations, anytime you're dealing with this level of politics and money and financial interest, stuff like this is going to go down. We all want everything to be squeaky clean, but the reality is it isn't. So
I am absolutely shocked. At the knowledge about soccer in the chat. Like, you guys, these motherfuckers know.
I'm going to piss off some people by the end of this thing, though, because when we do the predictions, it's going to get fun.
Oh, predictions! Oh my God, yeah, that is going to be crazy. I don't remember Pogba. Oh, go ahead.
Pogba's French. He won't be at the World Cup. He's hurt.
And he's a black guy, right?
Yeah, black guy with yellow.
With the pony, does he have like the ponytail? I think.
No, I think he's got a mohawk right now.
Okay. There's a black guy with a ponytail who's
Mario Balotelli. I think he was Italian. I think that's
okay. There we go. Yeah.
Now this World Cup is very different in a lot of ways. So the World Cup is in the summer. This one, obviously, it's in the winter because it's in Qatar. It would be way too hot.
Right. I was going to say a lot of people don't realize this. If this was played in July, players would die because it would be 275 degrees on the field and guys would just be dropped.
Qatar somehow managed to, they spent billions of dollars on these stadiums. They somehow managed to put air conditioning in outdoor stadiums. So there's just apparently this cool breeze that we're hearing about inside the stadium. So
wow, and it's still hot there.
Yeah, but either way, the games are going to be played at night. What we're hearing is it's very comfortable there at night.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. So we're able to actually watch the games during the day.
So yeah, the game times are going to be this is East Coast. It's going to be 5 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 11, and then 2 p.m. All the USA games are at 2 p.m.
That is perfect. Hang on, you sent me the okay. So you sent me the Group E schedule. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Oops, wait a minute. Sorry about that. That is Porsche's already So Porsche's already here. Never mind.
While you're doing that, I can go into how this World Cup is going to be different. So this World Cup, more than the weather, the different thing about this World Cup is usually a national team which only meets between 5 to 6 times a year. Mm-hmm. Usually they have about a month to come together after the European football season ends. They have a month to come together. They name their roster. They have a camp. They play some friendlies, and they ramp up to the World Cup. This time, the European season ended 5 days ago. And all these teams are just getting put together. Games start on Monday. So it's a very, very quick turnaround. And so it's going to be a crazy World Cup in terms of play because of injuries, because of the teams haven't had that time to coalesce. And there's a lot of changes happening very, very quickly. These injuries are coming out of nowhere right now.
Why do you think that is? Because we're getting injury reports every day. Why it just seems a little bit different? Because I can't remember the last World Cup where we're getting 2 and 3 injuries daily, super
season. Players are literally coming off of the European games. Giovanni Reina finished the game. He's an American player. From the game, he went to the airport. He landed in Qatar straight to a training center. Are having no time to rest.
So Giovanni Reina, I think, is the son of Claudio Reina, who played for the United. Okay, that's what I thought. I knew that that name sounded familiar. That's interesting. Okay, well that makes sense because it's not in the middle of the season where everyone is in mid-season form. It's after the season. Their bodies have cooled off. The team hasn't coalesced. Okay, that makes sense. Guys are.
So that's going to be very, very interesting. And yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready, we can get to these predictions.
One more thing that I wanted to talk about. El Chagon, $2 says USA to win their group. Yes, first, let's go, boys. Hey, man, Team USA. We'll get into that in a second. Real quick. And so it was announced, I think, either yesterday or today, that there will not be alcohol sales at the World Cup. And I've never been to Qatar, but Qatar is a dry country. And so the beer sponsors like Budweiser and Jack Daniels, those aren't going to be allowed to have, tents or booths or anything like that. How do you think that's going to affect the World Cup?
I don't know. Usually it's a bunch of, okay, so here's another thing. Usually people get drunk, but, they're in one city for one game. This is the first and only World Cup where all 8 stadiums are within 30 miles of each other.
Oh, wow.
What I think is going to happen is people are still going to be allowed to drink at their hotels.
Okay.
At certain hotels. So a lot of people are going to be arriving at these things just sloshed so they can be drunk throughout the game. Especially, I'm looking at the English fans, especially.
Oh, my God. Dude, of course. Jesus
look, Christ. It's going to be interesting.
And that's all the time, dude.
That's the beauty of the World Cup. It's not just about the games. It's about everything else that goes around it. When people call this the biggest party in the world, it really, really is. We're all going to see it in 4 years when about 5 million international folks descend on the United States to, party their asses off.
That's going to be fucking crazy.
That's going to be great. I'm already planning a trip with my RV,
Oh, wow. So you already, okay. Are you going to go to all the venues and watch all the games?
My plan is to go. I have 2 plans. 2 goals, at least. 1 is to watch all the USA games. 2 is to go to all the stadiums, at least in the United States. There's also going to be some games in Mexico and Canada. I don't know if I'll go that far. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go that far, but I at least want to visit every World Cup venue.
Have the cities been announced?
Yes. Philadelphia is on the list. So is Miami.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Dallas, Houston, New York, LA, San Francisco, and I'm missing Kansas City.
Oh my God, dude. That is unbelievable. Dude, how many? That's like 10 cities.
That's like 10. Then you have 3 in Mexico and 2 in Canada. The next World Cup is going to be the first World Cup that's going to go from 32 to 48 teams. So you're also going to be a whole lot more games too.
Oh, and so there's going to be a whole lot more groups as well. There's going to be
he says, I'm not sure being drunk in public is allowed in Qatar. The Qatari government's making a lot of concessions for this World Cup to happen. Yes, they came out of the 11th hour and banned alcohol sales in and around the stadium. But for example, there's been plenty of women walking around in shorts. That's usually not allowed in Qatar. Things like that.
Wow.
Now, hang on, because at the same time, there was a Danish film crew that got their cameras taken by the police. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Qatar measures
culture. Yo, this is a culture clash.
Yeah.
No booze, and you can't. And I saw somebody say that girls can't even wear tank tops. This is the culture clash, man. Because the way we party here and everywhere in the West, it's all about pints and tits and whiskey and legs and ass. But clearly that's not the case in Qatar. That'll be very interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. Dude, Carlos Diaz says unmarried couples can't sleep in the same bed, though. Wow.
Qatar. I've actually been to Qatar. I was there for 4 days when I was deployed in Iraq. Because when I didn't take my 2 weeks, I said, well,
yeah.
So I took 4 days, went to Doha. There's a military R&R space there. And I did see a lot of that. Obviously, women can't show themselves or can't be unaccompanied.
No, they don't fuck around over there, man. Hey, look, if you're looking for a woman who at least appears to be the genuine article, I don't know, man. Y'all might want to think about Qatar, because it sounds to me like being a hoe is pretty much against the law over there. You'll fuck around and get your head chopped off for that shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, if you're in company of a man, it's got to be a male relative, stuff like that. Regular Islam rules. Yeah.
How about, dude, it's interesting. I had heard grumblings and rumors about it being a dry country, but I'm not doing my research. I'm a content creator. I'm always busy. I had no idea that it was ruled. I guess it sounds like Sharia law. Sharia.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's as strict as a country like Iran.
Okay.
But, yeah, they do have some sense of that. Some level of Sharia law.
Wow, that is. And there's a 3-to-1 male to female ratio. So for every one woman, according to Dev, for every 3 men, there's only 1 woman. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Holy moly, dude. I am blown away. I never even knew that. I mean, honestly, man, it sounds like the fucking land of milk and honey, literally.
So that's gonna be an interesting balancing act to see how Qatar and
the
FIFA.
broadcasting as well. Because, dude, listen, you can Google hot Brazilian soccer fans, and holy shit, dude, hot Finnish soccer fans, I mean Mexican soccer fans, dude, ain't no such thing as a hot Qatarian soccer fan. Because
I hope they're very lenient in the stadiums. One of the highlights of watching the World Cup is always watching the cameramen somehow find the hottest girls in the stadium.
Always fucking, dude. There's a million people. They always find the hottest bitches. All of them. It's
and insane. The Dutch fans always bring some groups of hot blondes.
Holy
Actually, this is one of those funny World Cup things. There's this beer company in Holland called Bavaria.
Mm-hmm.
They always find a way to break the rules when it comes to marketing, and they always do something.
I love it.
I think it was in 2010. They had all their people wearing shirts that say Bavaria on it, and FIFA doesn't allow outside advertising in the stadium. So all the guys said, "All right, fuck it," and they all went into the game in their underwear. Then in I want to say 2010, Robbie Earl, an English broadcaster, gave all his tickets to somebody who sold them to Bavaria.
Yeah,
a stone black guy, and all the tickets that were allotted for his friends and family are taken up by hot blondes in Dutch jerseys. So these are the things that happen around the World Cup that only happen during the World Cup.
Yo, check this. Hold up. What, dude? Check this out. Hold up, man. This is unbelievable. You want to know something? I am actually shocked. I am actually shocked that the social justice warriors haven't tried to cancel Qatar. And I'm gonna tell you,
they tried. No, they tried.
Are you, dude?
They
It does
tried.
not surprise me.
They,
Where's my? There it is. Hold up. Look at this. So I'm gonna put this. So Devin just she just put this up on the screen for me. I'm gonna share my screen. This is unbelievable. I did not know. I had no idea where there was that there was such a. Hang on a second. I had no idea that a place like this existed. So it says Qatar welcomes you. Let me blow this up a little bit. So no drinking alcohol, no switch hitting, no immodesty, no being hoes, no profanity, not disrespecting places of worship, loud music and sounds, no dating, taking people's pictures without their permission. Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you what, this honestly sounds like my kind of place, man. Like
the English and the Brazilian fans are gonna have a hell of a world.
Oh my God, dude, the English, the Brazilians, and the American fans.
Oh yeah. Well, Americans, we tend to be a little more subdued in our craziness, right? I mean, we're like the land of delusional optimism, so we think
yeah, you're right. Jesus Christ. Oh, yo, Qatar's not fucking around. I did not know that it was like this over there. Holy fucking shit. Basically, you can't sin in Qatar. Holy moly. Okay. Let's get to all right, so let's get to the groups. Hang on a second. I actually had this up a while ago. So these are the groups. And do you want to talk about the group? Do you want to talk about the group play first and then get in predictions, or was there something?
I mean, the prediction. Do you have the predictor I sent you? Because that goes through the entire group stage. We can get into it there. But yeah, these are the groups. The U.S. You see this right there in Group B.
Yep.
You have the favorites, Argentina and France are going to meet up very early. We'll go through that here in a second. Brazil in Group G. I'm looking at probably Croatia at a Group F, maybe Belgium.
Okay.
Spain, Germany. Now, the interesting thing here, there's always that group of death, right?
Yes. Oh my God. So which is the group of death?
We don't have it here. If you wanted to qualify that, it could be the U.S. group because they're all bunched together in the FIFA ranking, highest ranked group. Maybe Germany and Spain, but again, there's two clear teams in pretty much every group.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Germany and Spain. Group A could almost be the group of life, right?
Yeah, well, no, because Senegal's missing some key players, so that'll be tough for them. The group of life,
like the easiest group is probably
the group of life is Group D: France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia.
Oh yeah.
But even that, see, that's the thing about the World Cup. Anything can happen. I think famously back to 2014, there were two groups of death. The USA made it out of one, along with Germany, by beating Portugal. Drawing with Portugal. And then you had a group. I don't know if you remember. There was a crazy group. You had this England, Italy, and Uruguay bunched into the same group with Costa Rica.
Yes.
It was Costa Rica that ended up winning the group.
Wow! And Costa Rica was not supposed to win that group.
No, they weren't supposed to get out of that group, and there they were in the quarterfinals.
Wow, this is dude, like my mind is just swimming right now. Okay, so I've got the predictor up here. So this is the World Cup. This is the FIFA World Cup predictor. So okay, so what am I doing here? Do I okay, so Group A,
that's essentially who wins, and then the second place. You're gonna click who wins first, and then the next one, and they'll go right down there below.
Okay. Perfect. So let's go through Group A.
I see Qatar's got the home team factor, but let's be honest, they're not talented enough.
They're only there because they're hosting.
Yeah. This group's gonna be won by the Netherlands, and I think Ecuador will probably pull off number 2. I would have said Senegal had Sadio Mane, their best player, not gotten injured.
Yes, that's right.
They're still a very talented team. See, each group's gonna have one game where the winner of that game is likely the one that's gonna advance. The Ecuador-Senegal game will probably be that game.
Okay, very good.
Group B, let's come back to Group B because I want to get a little bit in depth with the U.S. team.
Okay.
Group C, Argentina wins it, and the Mexico-Poland game will be the deciding one. I think Poland, though. Poland will win.
You think Poland? Oh wow. Okay, I would have thought
Mexico. Unfortunately for them, this is probably the weakest Mexican team I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we've kicked their ass. The last couple of times, haven't we?
Last 4 times.
Yeah, it's been bad.
I'll talk a little bit more about this when we get back to Group B, but Mexico and England are very similar in that their own hubris always catches up with them. They're the cockiest bastards you'll meet, and they always underestimate people, and they always, hubris plays a big part there.
Oh, I mean, I don't think is Javier Hernandez Chicharito on that squad this time.
No, and that's one of the main gripes they have with the coach was that they don't have a clear striker in that team anymore because their best.
He was their striker.
Holy
was.
Okay, let's get Group D here. Group D.
This is going to be France, right? France.
No, it's going to be Denmark. I think Denmark's a very strong team. They beat the French the last 2 times they played. And there is that champions curse. Italy won in 2006.
Yep.
They crashed out of 2010. Yep. Spain won in 2010. They crashed out of 14.
That's right.
And Germany crashed out of 18. And I think the French, see, this is the thing about the French. They're either amazing and they win the World Cup, or they're a complete
terrible. They are
absolutely terrible. Yes. Going to be a complete disaster. I do think they have enough talent to get out of the group, but I think that's as far as they make it. So France, let's put them at number 2.
Okay, so France comes in at number 2. Jermaine Habib says Denmark and Tunisia, so we'll see how that goes.
The key game there for me, I think, is going to be France-Tunisia, because Tunisia, Australia, unfortunately, they don't have a great team this time around, but Tunisia can give the French a real run.
Okay, very good. Now, to me, I'm thinking Spain will win this group, followed by Germany. What do you think?
They're interchangeable. The winner of that game will win the group. The other one should be second. I tend to go Germany.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. The thing that scares me about Germany this time is how quiet they are.
Okay.
Germany doesn't have the most talented team they've ever had, but they're very, very quietly. And that's how the Germans play best.
Listen, I remember when the Germans were at their best, and I don't know if they had these 3 when they won the cup back in 18. But I remember Michael Ballack, Miroslav Klose, and their goalkeeper Oliver Kahn. Those 3, those were the big 3.
And the only one of those that was there when they won in 2014 was Miroslav Klose.
Klose. Okay, that's what I thought. I remember Klose, Kahn, and Ballack. And I think Michael Ballack was supposed to come over and play in the States, but that never fell through because he's not old enough yet. So that's what happens. Eventually, Lionel Messi will end up playing for like Sporting Kansas City when he's 45 years old, as they always do. Hey, man, we get the stars eventually, right?
Yeah, we do eventually.
Okay.
Right now, there are rumors that both Messi and Ronaldo are going to be here next year. One of them will be in Miami, probably for sure.
Yeah, Ronaldo to Miami is perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Wow. Okay, Group F. We've got Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Who you got?
I have Croatia winning it.
Okay.
And the Belgium is kind of in the same situation as France. They do have a very strong team on paper, but they're aging and they do have some key injuries. I would put them number 2, but Canada can be a team that really surprises people this World Cup.
So you're going Croatia, probably Belgium. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Canada.
Absolutely.
Okay. Group G, obviously Brazil, I think, is going to win this group. Right?
This one to me is the most straightforward group. I think Brazil and Serbia are the 2 that go out of here.
Okay.
Switzerland might make Serbia's life difficult, but I think Serbia is a very strong team.
Okay, very good. Group H, we've got Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea.
I have Portugal going out.
Okay, that's what I mean. Cristiano Ronaldo is Portuguese, so he'll be on that squad.
Now, the Portuguese team is interesting. Is the question with them, and same with Brazil and same with Argentina. Brazil having Neymar, can their stars accept that they're not the focal point anymore?
Ooh,
that's what I'm at. If Ronaldo is a child about it and demands the ball and demands to play every minute, Portugal aren't going to go anywhere. However, I think he's mature enough to realize this is his last go round. This is a very talented team, and I
don't think has Ronaldo ever won a World Cup? I don't think so. Has he?
No. Okay. So, and that's the thing. Like winning a World Cup, this is the hardest tournament to win in sports.
In sports, without question.
Only 8 countries have ever won it.
Wow, that's a fun fact.
So you have Brazil with 5, Italy and Germany with 4, You have nobody's got 3 right now, I think. But then you have Spain with 1, France with 2, Argentina with 2, Uruguay with 2, England with 1.
So Spirit of Justice. Oops. Spirit of Justice. The Sigma Empath says Neymar the flop king. Isn't every striker the flop king? Like,
okay, so let me address flopping for a second because it does happen. Of course,
I love it.
Can't deny it. Actually, the king of the flop is not Neymar. Is Jurgen Klinsmann is the one that really started that part. The whole thing.
I agree.
But there's a difference between flopping, which is horrible. You know, the Mexicans hate it because they got robbed out of the 2014.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They did.
And embellishing a little bit because soccer, unlike every other sport, soccer you have a field that's bigger than a football field, and there's 1 referee in the field and 2 on the sides. That's it. So at some point, the ball's going to be 60 yards away from the referee, and you're going to get fouled. You have to put your hands up. You have to scream. You have to make sure the ref sees it. So at some point, at some point, you do need to embellish it a little bit.
I love it when player X, when player X gets hit and he's rolling around like he tore his ACL. The medical staff comes out there. They roll him onto the gurney. They're bringing him off the field. All of a sudden, now the red card comes out. The guy on the gurney is like, "Oh, red card." He hops off the gurney, back onto the pitch. I love it.
Let me recommend somebody. If anybody's like a casual,
Joel, you there? Oh man, he froze. Joel, you there? Maybe okay, he left off for anyone who's a casual football fan. I got to get his all right. So what he'll do, let me shoot him a text and tell him to jump back out and jump in. Wait, this is a very interesting conversation. Hang on a second. Jump out and then jump back in. You froze. All right. Boy, I'm gonna tell you what, man. You guys are very, very knowledgeable. I swear to God, you guys are extremely knowledgeable. So Marvin Segovia says Brazil and Serbia for Group H, for Group G. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. NKA the Accuser says Portugal and Ghana. I'm inclined to go with Portugal and Ghana. I don't think, and I think Koreans team is not very good defensively. They give up a shit ton. They, for whatever reason, Korea always gives up a shit ton of goals in the World Cup. Marvin Segovia says Portugal and Uruguay. That's an very interesting pick. So Dale says Group H isn't a joke. For my 20 years of football, I would say Group H. So we established that they're probably the closest thing to a group of death is probably Group E. I'm thinking that the closest thing to a group of death. Oh, wait a minute. Here he is. There we go. Gotcha.
Sorry, my internet crashed.
Oh no, that's all right. That's all right. So you were saying something to the last thing we heard you say was something about the casual football fan. You said something about the casual football fan, and then you froze. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to recommend if you really want to see the cool and funny things that happen around the World Cup, put into YouTube World Cup Shocks.
Okay.
And it'll be you're going to see a BBC program like the Greatest World Cup Shocks. It's hilarious and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so very good.
Check that out.
You're getting a lot of agreement on Jurgen Klinsmann as the king of flops, dude. Like, Jurgen Klinsmann is
he really was.
The GOAT. He's the GOAT. He is. I wonder how many miles of penalty and free kicks he probably leads the world in that. Let's see. Okay. So who's your second pick in Group H?
That's going to be Uruguay.
Uruguay. Okay, very good. I was thinking maybe it was Ghana, but somebody agrees with you. Amar Huss says Portugal and Uruguay. Okay, so let's go to the American group.
Group B.
Group B. What the hell is going on with my dude? Now my internet is. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Group B. Yeah, that's that Qatar. That's that Qatar internet. Okay, so Group B, we've got England, Iran, the United States, and Wales. Now Wales does have a superstar in Gareth Bale, but do you think Do you think Bale is enough to get Wales at least to advance, or is that going to be somebody else?
Before I get into my predictions, let's talk about the U.S. team for a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
This is not your team from 2014, not even the team that failed to qualify for 2018. There's only one player on this team with World Cup experience. That's DeAndre Yedlin.
Oh, the defender.
The defender.
Yeah.
There's reasons to be hopeful, and there's reasons to be pessimistic about this team.
Okay.
The reasons to be hopeful is this is by far the most talented team we've ever taken to a World Cup.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this is the best team we've ever had, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm not ready to call them the best team we've had yet because they have to prove themselves at this World Cup.
Okay, but they've got
on paper is the most talented for sure. They have the best European club pedigree. This team has the talent to do it.
Okay, very good. Very good.
On the opposite side, we are coached by Greg Berhalter, who is an ideologue. He's very stubborn.
You're not the biggest fan of Berhalter.
I'm not. He's very stubborn about his quote unquote system.
Okay.
And a national team, what a national team coach is supposed to do is make the team greater than the sum of its parts, right?
Right. Of course.
So Greg Berhalter is he gets called a PowerPoint merchant. Like all he does is give his player PowerPoints and talk about his system. A national team only comes together 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year. You got to simplify this as best you can, bring in your best players, and as a coach, design a system that fits all your players.
That's right.
He's taking players and trying to fit them into his system.
Ay.
So that doesn't always work for a national team. However, once they're on the field, soccer is one of the least coachable games because the coach is like 50 yards away from the action, and that's it.
He's really, honestly, man, soccer coaches, they do their work out. Most of their work is outside of the games. During the actual match, they're really just a consultant at that point.
Pretty much. That, and they decide, who's playing.
Yeah, right.
But you only get 5 subs. It's not like any other sport where you can sub indefinitely.
Yeah, right. Okay, very good. So now Jermaine Habib says the 0-2 U.S. men's national team was the best ever. Yeah. Wasn't that the squad with Casey Keller as the goalie, Brian McBride, Claudio Reyna? I don't think Clint Dempsey wasn't there yet. No. Landon Donovan wasn't there yet.
No, Landon Donovan was there. He was our superstar. He was an 18-year-old kid playing hard out.
He has been around for it. That just proves how old I am because I was thinking Landon Donovan wasn't even around. Unbelievable. So what do you
give me 1 second. My internet's back up. I'm going to jump back in through the actual
chat. Very good. Right, so Ron Mexico, very interesting name. Ron Mexico was that was the fake name that Michael Vick used to give in Atlanta when he would when Michael Vick was with the Falcons. What he used to do is that was his alias. His alias was Ron Mexico when he used to stay at hotels when he'd be smashing groupies. Carlos Diaz says if the U.S. men's national team beats England, it'll be called soccer from now on. Oh boy. The Senate says Iran got any talent? They're going to be coming for the U.S. Iran has a little bit of talent, but I don't think they have the talent that the United States has. I agree with Joel. I think this is easily the most talented squad we've ever had. But just because you're the most talented, just because you have the most talent, just because you're the most talented squad does not mean this will be the best team.
Now, a couple other reasons to be optimistic. Most of our players are healthy.
Yes.
This collection of players, you have Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic, Tim Weah, and Brendan Aronson. Not all of them have been healthy at once. Never.
Except now.
Except right now. So,
I'm just glad. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love Team USA, but how many times are we going to see Bob Bradley and Michael Bradley? We know Michael Bradley is Bob Bradley's son. We get it. Oliver Biscuit says the USA coach is bad. My favorite U.S. men's national team coach was Jurgen Klinsmann. I think he probably got the most out of Team USA. Bruce Arena, Michael Bradley, Jurgen Klinsmann. Who do you think is the best USA men's national team coach?
None of them. I think Bora Milutinovic back in '94 was
really? Yes.
Having said that, I think it would have been
that was in the States, by the way. That was the own goal by
Andres Escobar.
Yes, Andres Escobar, who ended up getting killed, I think, like the very next day. All right, go ahead.
Pablo Escobar. But I think it would be very interesting to see what Jurgen Klinsmann could have done with this team because Jurgen wanted to play a more attacking European style, but he never had the players to do it.
Nope.
It's important to understand before this current generation of players that are the ones that are going to take us into 2026, where we may really have a shot at doing something really special. We had maybe 1-2 players at a time playing in some clubs in Europe. Right now, we have a good 10 players, more than that, playing in Europe. Yes. And a lot of them who feature for very top clubs. Weston McKennie at Juventus.
Yes.
Christian Pulisic in Chelsea. Gio Reyna in Dortmund. Yunus Musa in Valencia. I mean, we have some top talent. All right, so Group B then.
All right, Group B. So who gets out of Group B?
Look, the English suffer from hubris, like I said before. We've played England twice in a World Cup. Once in 1950, they were expected to beat us 10-0, and we beat them 1-0.
Whoa!
In fact, when the news reached England again, they thought it was a typo, and they printed England wins 10-0.
Ah, okay.
And the second time, again, they discounted us completely, and the headline in England the next day was USA wins 1-1. We tied them at 1.
Wow. USA wins 1-1. I like that.
I think we can tie England. If we do, hopefully beat Wales and do something special.
Now we're favored. We're expected to beat Wales. Am I correct?
We're expected to beat Wales. This is Vegas odds standards. We're expected to put them in second in this group. England's supposed to win it, and I do think they will. They have enough talent. They're a very talented team. They have some of the same coaching problems we have, but I think it ends up England and the United States as second. Okay. Now, a little more on the U.S. team. In this group, the team that scares me the most here is actually not England. I think England, we match up better with England than we do with Wales or Iran.
Really?
The reason I say that is because this team, the U.S. team, had a very hard time during qualifying playing against teams that set up very well defensively against them.
Okay.
They call it a low block, where essentially they push all their players back and say, break this wall.
Right.
Wasn't really able to do that on a consistent basis. If Wales and Iran are smart, that's exactly what they'll do, and they'll force us to try to beat them on the offensive side by setting up a very low block and doing that. England's going to play their game. We know they're going to be an open game, and there'll be plenty of space for our players to be able to take advantage with their speed and with their talent.
Okay.
All you got to do is look at the qualifiers. Our 2 best games during qualifying were the only team that plays us like that with an open, and they're the ones chasing the game, is Mexico. And those were our 2 best games.
Right.
We played Panama, we played El Salvador, and we struggled against these teams.
And those were against Panama. Panama, was that a qualifier or is that a friendly?
Which one? Because we played them a lot. That was a qualifier.
See, I thought we struggled against Panama because it was a friendly. I did not know that was a qualifying game. So, that is concerning.
And actually, Greg Berhalter, the first window, or the first time the team came together for qualifying, we played El Salvador, we played Canada, and we played Honduras.
Okay. Yes. Right.
We tied at El Salvador. We tied against Canada in the United States. Then we went to Honduras, and we were losing 1-0 at halftime. And, Ricardo Pepi, 18-year-old kid, came in and he saved Greg Berhalter's job by scoring goals, and we won that game 4-1. But if we don't win that game, Greg Berhalter's not coaching today.
He's not there, and we probably bring back Bruce Arena for the 58th time.
Jesus fucking. And surprisingly, it was Ricardo Pepi got left off the squad. He's not on the team.
Why is that? So he saves Berhalter's job, but he gets left off the squad.
That's the thing. Berhalter's very stubborn about his players and player selection. We have players like Aaron Long who flat out do not belong on this team.
Right.
He might be the one starting against Wales. We just don't know. And, he threw a surprise at us by naming Haji Wright as a striker. And Haji Wright's a great striker, and I'm glad he's there. He's very good. I trust him. He's fantastic, but
does he work well? He worked well in tandem with Pulisic.
He does actually. There's a rumor going around that it was Pulisic who had Haji Wright on the team. They're best friends.
Oh, now that I did not know. See, okay. Now there's my ignorance coming into play. I didn't know that they were homeboys like that.
Not ignorance. I never expect anybody to get in depth with this stuff as much as I do. I'm like nuts about this. My girlfriend's in the room. She'll tell you right now. She's hating my guts. All I'm thinking about is the World Cup.
Very nice.
All right, so yeah, the England first, USA second. That's the
Okay.
reasonable prediction. But like I said, we live in the land of this country was built on delusional optimism.
Yes, yes, yes,
So I firmly believe we have enough talent to win the group, and we have enough liabilities to come in last. So
Ooh,
we'll,
okay. Boy,
we'll see.
wouldn't it be cool? See, I would rather not win the group and advance as far as we could. I was gonna say something about Belgium. So Belgium, I think, reached they reached the quarterfinals back in 14 after
Mhm.
they beat the United States. And then in 18, they fell flat on their face.
Now, if I'm remembering correctly, they reached the semifinals in 18.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think, pretty sure. Let me just look that up real quick. I'm pretty sure.
Portugal World Cup 2018. Wow. Wow. That's it. Round of 16. 10 against Group B. They
Croatia, England, France, and
let's see the matches. Who did they ended up? Yeah, they were. Wow, you're right, dude.
yeah.
Wow, they did reach the semifinals. Wow.
Now, so in soccer, there's this thing called the quote unquote golden generation of each country, right?
Sure.
Belgium is at the very end of their golden generation. Their players are aging out, and the young
Yes.
players aren't nearly as good. A team like Mexico ended their golden generation last World Cup, and they still couldn't
Right.
do anything.
Right.
The United States is this is the start of our golden generation.
This is it. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Which is why everybody feels that success in this World Cup, yes, of course, we're out there, we're going to compete every game.
But we're really looking forward to 26.
A lot of it is a learning lesson for 2016.
Okay. Get the experience, get some matches under your belt.
Yeah. Now, I do fully expect them, if they don't reach they could play fantastic. If they don't make it out of the group, I'm going to be pissed. World Cup is win at all costs.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I'll be disappointed at the United States. Like if we win the group, if we win Group B, I'm good. To me, that's just icing on the cake. But I fully expect the United States to come out of Group B.
I would much rather win dirty than play beautifully and not.
Dude, I will win 1-0 on penalty kicks than lose 7-6. I don't care. I do not care.
Another thing, Greg Berhalter, I don't expect him to be there in 2026. Not necessarily because he's a bad coach, but because it's very unusual at the national team level where a coach will stay longer than one World Cup cycle.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, very good. Let's see.
I'm gonna pick the USA there. I don't know why you're picking Netherlands.
Oops, wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that.
I think the USA, Netherlands is a good team.
USA. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So USA versus Netherlands.
Netherlands is a great team. However, if the US comes out of our group with these young players and this confidence about them, they're more than capable of putting a punch on the Netherlands.
Okay, all right.
It's the revenge game for Serginho Dest.
Yes, that's right.
So
that's exactly right. Wow, good point on that.
He didn't get picked.
Uh-oh. I think he froze again.
By
Dude,
the Netherlands, by the Dutch team. Come on.
No, you're okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So you're right. He did not get picked by the Dutch team, and he is feeling some type of way. So I'm on that revenge game for sure.
All right, France, Argentina. This is the end of the line for France. Argentina wins this.
Yes.
The French, I honestly, I really have a feeling they're not even going to make it out of the group. As favored as they are, as talented as they are, there's just so much there. The egos are enormous. Too many injuries. I don't know. USA not beating the Netherlands. Rafi, on paper, you're right. We should not be beating the Netherlands.
Okay.
But, like I said, we live in the land of the delusional.
Look, here's why I think the United States has a chance to beat Netherlands. Number one, I think we have more talent than they do. And number two, I think our young guys are just going to they won't know any better, right? Like
that's the thing. These guys don't have a losing point of reference.
No, they don't. They have no idea what it's like to lose as a squad.
And it's a fact. Every World Cup has one or two teams that completely outperform. Why not the US this time around?
Hey, man, just like you said, delusional. Look, I'm one of those delusional optimists, goddammit. Listen, we're getting a lot of disagreement in the chat. I don't care. Team USA all the way.
And I don't blame them, because if I was betting on these, I would bet on the Netherlands.
I was gonna say, this is what we need to do from now on. We need to say which team we're rooting for and which team we would bet on.
All right, then put the Netherlands.
The United States versus Netherlands. Yeah, we're taking the Netherlands for sure.
England, Ecuador. Ecuador's, the two youngest teams at this World Cup are Ecuador and the United States, but England is going to have too much talent for them
and experience. If I'm not, Rooney is not on this squad, is he?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Their best player is Harry Kane. He's their striker.
Very
good. Exactly. But they have some very exciting young talent too.
Everybody's name in England is Harry. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Here, Denmark to me is the dark horse here of this game. I think Denmark have a very strong team.
Okay.
Denmark wins this. Germany beats Belgium. I think this is the end of the line for Belgium.
Okay.
Brazil beats Uruguay.
Okay. Spain over Croatia.
Yeah.
I don't know. You didn't sound convinced there.
That's just because the Spanish haven't convinced me, but Croatia, I don't think they have enough legs for it.
Okay.
And Portugal beat Serbia.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So the quarterfinal, now it's starting to get real here. So in the quarterfinal, Netherlands and Argentina, I think we're both taking Argentina.
Yep.
Brazil and Germany. That'll be a fantastic
matchup. It'll be Brazil.
Okay. Denmark and England.
I'm taking Denmark.
Wow. There it is. The dark horse. Holy smoke.
I'm taking Denmark and I'm taking Portugal to go
to the wow. So Spain and Portugal. So you're calling the upset over Spain and Portugal. That's literally big brother, little brother, because Portugal is like within Spain. Wow, very good. This is going to be this right here. Okay. This Brazil and Argentina should be the World Cup final. That's just how it is sometimes. It can't be. Yeah, it can't be. It can't be. That's
whether they come in first or second. Whether they come in first or second on their group doesn't matter. The math just isn't there for them to face each other in the final. However, the winner of this game will be the World Cup champion, and I think it's
Argentina. Wow, you're picking Argentina over Brazil, and who's going to be the sacrificial lamb?
Portugal.
Wow, you've got them all the way in the final. So who wins the third place game?
Brazil. Well, no, Denmark does.
Oh, because of the letdown, right?
That game's going to mean a whole lot more to Denmark. The Brazilians are going to be like, whatever, we don't care about this. Yeah, Denmark will win that game.
Okay, all right, very good. And your World Cup final, who is your 2022 World Cup champion?
It would be Argentina. But
Argentina, Lionel Messi gets the monkey off his back. And
make no mistake about it. If we get this final, this will be the most watched sporting event of all time. Messi, Ronaldo,
that's it.
This is what the poets write about, right? I mean,
yes. God, Messi versus Ronaldo will be
dude in the World Cup final. I mean,
oh my God, wow, dude, how cool would that be? That is unbelievable.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be crazy. Okay, let's submit that.
I never submitted it, but
we're betting. We in the beginning we were betting with our hearts, but we decided. So here's the unofficial Donovan Sharp Miami.
Somebody take a screenshot of this, and after the World Cup, we'll come back and see how we did.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
There we go.
I'll do it right now. This is our bracket here. There we go. Awesome. Very nice, man. Okay, good stuff. Boy, this is going to be I think this is going to be a very good World Cup. And I think you're right. I think that this is, I think we understand here in the United States, even the U.S. men's national team, I think they understand, hey, they're not expected to win it all, but they're not expected to just be a one and done. They are expected to get out of Group B, maybe make a little bit of noise, maybe hopefully make the quarterfinals.
If we make the quarterfinals, it's a very successful.
Oh my God, that's a success. Because at that point in 2026, maybe the United States is being talked about as maybe possibly maybe a dark horse.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe. I think that's very, very possible, especially if we keep this growing talent. Now, to grow soccer in the United States, the World Cup in 26 is going to help a lot.
Yes.
But Major League Soccer's got a lot of work to do. Actually, by the way, Paxton Aronson from Philly just signed for Frankfurt. So that was
exactly right. That's exactly right. And he should make the squad in 26. Am I wrong?
Yeah, on paper. That's the thing. We're going to have so many players that
we'll actually have to leave off some talent.
Our U20s right now are very, very good.
Good problem to have, man.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. And, this is what makes when we want to compete with the likes of the Argentinas, the Brazil, the Germanys, the Spain.
Yeah, right.
We have to get to that point where we have to be okay leaving a superstar out of the team. There's just no room.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We're gonna have to get there.
Who's gonna be the player of the tournament? It's got to be Messi, right?
You would think on paper, yeah. Especially if they make it all the way to the finals. It depends what his role is.
I don't think Messi cares. I think if Messi gets the World Cup,
They just want that trophy at that point.
Yeah, it's the trophy. He's the GOAT at that point. Muta Warrior says Messi is old. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, this is he and Ronaldo's last chance at this.
I think Ronaldo is 36 or 37.
I want to say 7 and Messi's 34.
Messi's 30. He's 34 or 35. I can't remember, but yeah. Kaiser Soze says you can get alcohol inside a stadium at the World Cup in Qatar if you have a corporate hospitality ticket where prices start. I can't convert 19,000 pounds. I don't really.
Let's call it. I don't know. Let's call it $19,000. I don't have 19,000 pounds.
Computer. What's 19,000 pounds in US dollars?
19,000 pounds is 22,000.
Oh my God! 22 large. Holy God! Hold on. Where's my soundboard? Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Yeah. Pocket change, says the Senate.
Don't get me wrong. If I had that kind of money, I'd be in Qatar right now.
This is interesting. Rafi Mateo says Darwin Nunez is the player of the World Cup. That's actually a pretty.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good prediction.
Another player to watch is Valverde for Uruguay. That kid is 100%. Coming up strong. That guy's got some chops. He might do it. As far as there's a player of the tournament, the goal scorer, and then they do the young player of the tournament. The young player of the tournament, I'm really rooting for Gio Reyna.
Yeah,
Gio Reyna is by far the most talented player we've ever had. He's got the potential to be our greatest player ever. Right now, he's more talented than Christian Pulisic, bar none.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. Good.
Pulisic's got more experience, but you're talking in Gio Reyna, you're talking about a kid who grew up. Both his parents were professional soccer players.
That's right.
He's been a regular starter for Dortmund, which is the second best team in Germany, essentially.
Sure. Yeah.
Since he was 17.
Wow, that is
so
impressive.
Yeah. This kid is
like you said, he's got the pedigree. He's got the pedigree.
For sure. Gio Reyna, maybe one of the guys from Ecuador. Ecuador's got a very strong defense.
They're hard to score on for sure.
Yeah.
Collide Conquer Gaming says, I live in Qatar. I work for FIFA. If anyone is coming and needs help with anything, let me know. Okay. Cool. That would be great. Like father, like son. Yeah, Gio Reyna. And if I'm not mistaken, Claudio, his father, was a fullback. So
he was a midfielder.
Oh, he was a midfielder. For whatever reason, I remember him being very.
He was very defensively involved.
Okay.
He was a player that, like Tyler Adams today, he kind of protected the back line and then moved the ball forward.
Good comparison. Last thoughts before he closes this thing up. What do you think about our goalkeeping situation? A lot of people are surprised at that.
Well, this is the first time in recent memory where our goalkeeper's not a world-class player. Casey Keller, Tim Howard, these guys were the undisputed number one.
Absolutely.
Right now, we have a situation where our goalkeepers are a little bit younger. We have Matt Turner. He's going to be our starter.
Yep.
Zach Steffen, who's supposed to be our best goalkeeper. He got left off the team with good reason.
Why?
He hasn't been playing well.
Oh, okay. That was the thing. I didn't think we should have left Turner off. He wasn't playing well, but I mean, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. World Cup qualifiers are very, very important games, but it's just not like the World Cup, right? So,
but here's the thing, and I do understand Greg on this. There's a couple players that obviously don't belong on this team. You're looking at Christian Roldan, Jordan Morris, Aaron Long.
Right. I don't think they'll see I don't think they'll see the field anyway. So
they won't. But that's the thing. Here we have 3 extra players. Am I frozen again?
Yeah, but I can still hear you.
Okay. Here we have 3 extra players. This roster is expanded to 26 from 23.
Okay.
So I'm okay with bringing guys that are good for the locker room. Okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay. I think Greg Berhalter didn't leave off Zach Steffen because he wasn't doing well. I think he left him off because Zach Steffen may not have been okay with being number 2.
Oh, an ego thing.
He didn't want to create a situation in the locker room that could have been.
Yeah, and that dude, situations like that it has a chance to really destroy a team from the inside out.
Team cohesion is everything at a World Cup because, like I said, these teams only come together 3, 4, 5 times a year.
Yes,
and when you're coming together, keep in mind every player at that World Cup, this has been their childhood dream.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
they all want to participate. They all want to be
Be
there.
the guy.
So,
Yeah.
so when you have locker room issues that kind of ruin the experience for everybody,
Ooh.
that kind
Wow.
of brings the entire team down, both on and off the field.
That's a very
So
good.
creating a locker room dynamic is very, very important, and I think that's
Okay.
why Greg did that.
Okay. Very good. Oh man, so something like this happened on the U.S. women's national team
Sure.
years and years ago. Brianna Scurry versus Hope Solo. Hope Solo was clearly the superior goalie, but because Brianna Scurry had more experience, whoever the coach was at the time decided to go with Scurry, and that was the wrong decision. I think she gave up like 3 or 4 goals. That ended up becoming an issue. Now the U.S. women's soccer team, they're one of the top women's soccer teams in the world, but
They're
even
the
still, yeah,
they're the
they're the best. But even still, that actually makes sense. I had not thought about the fact that when you have 2 goalies who both think, one knows he probably shouldn't start, the other one is thinking I probably should. You don't need that kind of friction in the locker room, because you know what happens then? Now you get guys taking sides. And when you got guys taking sides, like, dude, it's you versus the world. It can't be locker room versus locker room. So
if you
in
want a
terms of
perfect example, look at the French team in 2010. They completely imploded because the coach
was that the
player
Terry Henry year?
he was there. There
Okay.
was a player named Anelka, who the coach sent home for violating team rules,
Damn,
and
I
that
don't remember that. I
completely
don't remember
broke
that.
the locker room.
Wow. Wow.
To the point where the coach he lost the team.
Yeah,
The team
right.
They refused to practice. They made the coach read a statement, like apologizing and doing all
Yeah.
these things, and they famously crashed out of that tournament. It was pathetic to watch, honestly.
Man, I can't believe I don't remember that. Jermaine Habib says that was at China, 2007 World Cup semifinal, where Brazil thrashed the U.S. women's national team 4-0 because Hope Solo was benched. Yes,
Yep.
the absolute dude. Everyone knew that Solo was the better player, but I think, and we know Hope Solo is a fucking train wreck. Like,
Yeah.
she is, like, dude, she's fucking crazy. So I can't imagine that it probably had something to do with something that happened off of the pitch. That might have been a factor in that. This has been a fantastic discussion. What I think we should do is I think we need to do another one of these. Real quick. So the United States.
Yeah.
Damn it. Hang on a second. So our first game, and I had everything here, but of course, we do it live, guys. So the United States. Oh, here it is. Got it. So Group B schedule. Let me pull this up here. And we've already made our predictions here. So the United States versus Wales. That's November 21st. That's going to be fucking Monday. I can't believe that Thanksgiving is almost here, man.
I know, right?
Let me bring this up, because I think we should do a reaction to the game.
I'm perfectly down with that.
There we go. Okay, so let me bring this up here. Present. Okay, so we. Yes. No, this right here. What am I doing? Hang on a second. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's already up. I'm an idiot. There we go. So the Group B schedule.
This is the United States schedule.
So this is the United States. So we've got Wales. We've got Wales on Monday at 2 p.m. Then we've got the day after Thanksgiving. I think that might be a Friday.
That's Friday.
2 p.m. again, and then we've got Iran 4 days later, dude.
Now, I don't know if I mentioned this. When I look at these 3 games, obviously how you play the second and third game have a lot to do with how you play the first game, whether you win, whether you lose. But I look at these 3 teams. The team that scares me the most is actually Iran.
Wow, you think so, man?
It is. They have a world-class striker. They have a world-class striker. They're going to set up defensively. Does not favor us. The World Cup, it's a very emotional tournament. There's a lot of geopolitics. This game's going to mean a lot to the Iranians.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and I always love the banter between the U.S. and England. I mean, the best commercial I've ever seen was the 2010 Dodge commercial before we played England. You saw the Revolutionary Soldier. You saw all the English.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Washington comes out driving a Dodge Charger and just runs him over. It was fantastic.
Unbelievable. I remember the highly controversial commercial that Landon Donovan did when he was telling when he was telling people to pull for Team Mexico because of a sponsor that he had. I was like, Landon,
well,
what are you doing?
The more controversial thing about that was right around the time he got left off of the U.S. team.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, he had an extra grind.
He had an extra grind with Klinsmann for sure. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And anytime you want to come back on, do a reaction.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's go with dude, let's just so USA versus Wales, that's on Monday. Yeah, let's do it. I usually have TSR live on Monday, but people are going to be traveling. So yeah, let's do a reaction right after the match, USA versus Wales. We'll do another one there on Black Friday after USA versus England, and hopefully we will have advanced. We will have advanced, and we can do a breakdown on Iran versus USA. To me, the best case scenario is that we beat Wales and we beat England, and we might. What do you think if we? So let's just say we go 2-0. We get 6 points right out of the gate. We already won the group. We're advancing. What are your thoughts on if USA has Group B locked up? And listen, just relating it to American football, if a team has the number one, like the Eagles, if the Eagles wrap up the number one seed,
I'm playing the B team or the subs.
Absolutely. Okay, there we go. Okay, gotcha. Just to give our guys. Okay,
now
that makes sense.
Here's a quick thing. USA Wales is the most important game here. The stats prove it. When you win your first game, 84% of those teams
you get out of the group. That's right.
You have to win against Wales.
Yep. Wales is the must win. Wales is the
must win. England, if you get a point out of England. So, okay, let's think about this. Chalky, the way it should work.
Mm-hmm.
We should be Wales.
Mm-hmm.
We should be able to get a draw with England.
Mm-hmm.
And we should beat Iran. We should get 7 points coming out of this group. That's the expectations. We can do it with 4.
Okay.
It can be done with 4, even 5,
it's happened before.
Yeah, it can be done. There's even scenarios where you can get out of the group with 3 points, but that's really hard.
That's the group of life. That would be
a group of life.
Yes, that would be.
You gotta. Bottom line is you gotta win your first game and then move on to England. And I think, like I said, we match up better with England than with Iran or Wales.
That is interesting, man. We match up better. See, that's interesting because England is a better team than Iran, but it is about matchups, man. It is about matchups.
And I famously think back to the 2014 World Cup. We beat Ghana.
Yes.
And we drew Portugal. Portugal, though, was the better matchup. We matched up very well against Portugal. Yes. If it's not for a last-minute Cristiano Ronaldo wonder pass, we beat Portugal. Yeah, that's what he does.
That's what he does. This was a lot of fun, man. This was a lot of fun. So we will see you guys. On Monday. Following the match, the United States versus Wales.
We'll talk about the time. I do have to work that day, so I don't know where I'll be exactly, but we'll do it Monday for sure.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have to be directly after the match, but what I might actually do is I might actually do a watch party on Sharp Stream. I might actually have the game up and just me sitting here watching it and reacting to it. I think that'd be a great idea.
That'd be cool. If I'm not there, that I'll be watching too. So I'll be texting you for sure.
Awesome.
Also, I gotta get you back on my other podcast, the new one.
Oh yeah, dude. Those are always fun. I love talking about game.
We'll come back and talk about that one another time. But yeah, I definitely got to get you back on there.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this World Cup preview. We will see you guys sometime on Monday. Thanks for watching, guys.
USA, baby.